Hey, this is Miko. I am in 2021 X5, BMW X5 plug-in hybrid. We're gonna drive a few blocks in the city, then we're gonna get on the highway, and we're gonna play with different modes and talk about the car and just give you an idea of what it's all about. So this model of the X5 was redesigned in 2019, so there's 2019, 2020, and this is the first year for the plug-in hybrid. This is also the first time when BMW put the inline six-cylinder turbocharged engine together with a electric powertrain. So compared to the previous X5, it's much more powerful. It's 389 horsepower total. The old one was less than 300 for sure. It was a four-cylinder engine, so definitely an improvement. The range on this car is, according to BMW, is 30. EPA puts it a little bit lower, but 30 should be doable, again depending on how you play with different modes. So overall, this is one of the more popular kinds of cars right now, the plug-in hybrids, because electric cars are still not quite there with the range. Other than just a couple of choices, there's just not a lot to choose from. And plug-in hybrid gives you this flexibility. So 30-mile range does not sound like a lot, but it'll be enough for a lot of people for daily commute. And then it gives you the flexibility of driving with the gas as far as you want to go, because then you can just fill it up. Compared to the other previous hybrids with BMW, this one has a quite large tank. It's a more than over 18-gallon tank. So you can go really far. Right now it's showing I have full tank and I have half a battery, so it's showing me the range 543, and that should be doable on the highway. So we hopped on the highway and uphill, and you can hear right now, I'm not using the microphone, this is real iPhone sound, so you can really get an idea of what it sounds like. So the engine kicked in, I could hear it, didn't really feel it, and now we're gonna just play with different modes. So I'm gonna try the electric mode, and I can kind of feel it in the power delivery. And let's go see if we can get some displays. Driver information, energy flow. Okay, there we go. So right now engine is still working. Now the engine is off, and I'm driving 65 miles an hour. I have more power to accelerate, so I'm working fine. The car's really quiet. I could really hear the truck going outside, but not my own car. And we're gonna put it back to hybrid mode. One suggestion with the range, BMW strongly suggests that if you know where you're going, I'm assuming when you drive somewhere you know where you're going, use the navigation. If you use navigation, the computer will use your destination and the trip to plan for you to be the most efficient, to use power, electric power needed or gas power where needed to get you the best range and the best mileage. So it makes a huge difference. Again, when EPA tests these cars, I'm assuming they don't do that. They just drive and see how far they can go. But if you use the destination and the navigation of the car, it's definitely going to improve your range. This car does not have adaptive cruise control. This is not the driver assistance professional, so I'm not going to play with that. But this is just regular drive feel. I'm going about 78, 80. It's very smooth, very quiet, and just an easy car to drive. And overall, these cars have been really successful, and the customers have been happy with them for a couple of years now. And the hybrid is just a nice addition that everybody seems to enjoy. The only difference with the hybrid in terms of practicality is that in the trunk of these cars, when you open the trunk, you have this nice floor. So there are three modifications. There's the regular gas 5-seater, and then when you open the trunk, there's another, like a thing you can open on the bottom, storage compartment that's quite large when you can fit stuff. Or if you get a car with non-run flats, then you're gonna have a spare tire there. if you get a car with the third seat, that's where the third seat will fold, and when it's folded, again, it's the same as a car without it. This car, you cannot get a spare tire, or you cannot get a third seat, and the battery will be in that compartment. Basically, you cannot open it anymore as much as a regular car, and obviously there's no third seat. So when you just open the trunk, it's just like a regular car. You just don't have that extra storage. That's the only difference. And to go over the hybrid, plug-in hybrid part again, there are two levels of charging. Level 1 is the regular 110. You get the charger with the car, plug it into a wall, start charging, ready to go. Charging time is about 6-7 hours. If you get level 2 charger, you can install it at home, or you can get non-installation, just a portable charger. As long as you have the 220 outlet, then you can charge it faster, probably about 3.5-4 hours. And also, this is the charger that you're going to find at any charging station or garage, or parking lots that have those things, like airports or Walgreens or whatnot. There's no fast charger on this car, mainly because you just don't need it. It's not an electric car, and that's basically it. So very easy to deal with that. You really don't need to know much. You don't have to plug it in. That's another big part with these cars. You don't have to have a charger. You don't need to plug it in. The tank is big enough for you to drive. You're still going to get the benefit of the hybrid drive. So every time you coast, brake, the car charges itself, and the engine turns it on and off faster than a regular car. So again, you really don't need to think about it. Just drive it. If you want to get more out of this car, charge it every night and use navigation whenever possible. Incentives on this car very specific by state, and also I'm not qualified to provide tax advice, but this is one of those cars that you should get some tax credit if you buy it. There are incentives from different states, a lot of incentives in the state of California that vary sometimes by county. Sometimes you can get a discount from not a discount, but a rebate from your utility company like PG&E. So a lot of things, unfortunately, is not very clear. It's not something that we as a dealer can do for you. You just need to do research on your own. Sometimes there are requirements for income, so if you make too much money, too bad. You're making too much money, you're not going to get a rebate. So that might happen. But again, even without those incentives, you get the benefit of the electric powertrain. And the good thing about it is that torque is instant. You get that 77 pounds of torque that's just electric, and that kicks in as soon as you step on it. And like with any other BMW hybrid, first of all, the car will use both powertrains at the same time. When you step on it, or if you're in sport mode, there's always going to be a reserve of power, even if you never charge it, that the car will use for acceleration, more powerful, quieter, smoother acceleration. And what else? So yeah, can use both at the same time, and always going to have that reserve of power that you can use to go faster, which you cannot use in a car like Toyota or Lexus. What else do we have? In terms of competition, I know there's a Volvo XC90 that's kind of close to this car, both in price and in power delivery, but that's a 4-cylinder engine. I've never driven it, so I cannot say how it feels. I know Volvos feel really luxurious. Not sure how it feels with the performance. Also, I don't think it has, the range is quite long and has a smaller gas tank. And the only other car that, as far as I know, in the US market is the Porsche. They have also V6 SUV hybrid, more powerful, about 20,000 more in cost. So it could be a better car, more expensive. It makes sense that it would be a better car. So that's, really quick overview that I just used the time of driving on the freeway just to show you how it feels. And now we're gonna get off the freeway. We're gonna get to this nice mountain highway where we can just give it a try and see what it really feels in terms of performance, because this is where there should be a difference between Volvo and BMW. Not in the luxury, but in the performance feel, the handling of the car. So we're gonna go into sport mode. And we're lucky with the lights. And let's see. So that famous 5.3 seconds even to 60. So we did not start from zero. But this is fun. This is impressive. The car feels very light. This is not a light car, but when you go on sport, even uphill, the power delivery is very smooth. Okay, so I'm gonna stop now so you can see real 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and this is 60. So 5 seconds uphill, definitely doable. So we got the power part. No special package in this car, nothing like dynamic handling. This is just the standard. The noise level is very manageable, and it kind of deceits you in terms of how fast you actually go. But the car feels very planted. It just gives you confidence that I can take these turns quite well. Right now I have all the driving aids working, so the steering wheel is vibrating because I have the lane departure warning, but it still lets me get out of the lane. You can always defeat all those features. Alright, another nice turn. It just gives you confidence. I'm not going that fast, of course. I'm not driving like a sports car here. But for a big SUV, that heavy, that wide, I don't think you can ask more from it. And if you do need more power, there are bigger engines. There's the M50i, there's the X5M. Those are just beasts. Again, as I usually say, you won't be able to use them. Alright, so we have this nice tight turn. We'll slow down here. Good turn. And my camera person is getting tired, so we're gonna cut this, but this was a nice drive and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.